It is Michigan football true or false time, the segment that everybody loves us doing. So let's get this bad boy started with just a few days until Michigan takes on Notre Dame in South Bend. First one up, will Michigan score 30 or more points on September 1st at night in South Bend against the Fighting Irish? Two teams ranked inside the top 15. Type 1 for true. Type 2 for false. Well, of course they are. This offense is going to come out smoking, throwing touchdown passes all over the place. It is not as likely as you think, and it has not happened as many times as you might think. If we see there, Michigan scored 47 in that famed 2006 season where they went in against number 2 Notre Dame and absolutely blew them out 47-21. But look at these games. We had to go back 1980, 1978, 2010 just to see games where Michigan scored 27 or more. Obviously, they won 4 of those 5 games. They even scored 27. They lost that one in 1980. It does not happen often. As we were reading through the Michigan Notre Dame in South Bend, at least, they've scored in the 30s plenty of times in Ann Arbor. It was 14-7, 14-30. Let's take a look at the last 2 games, and then the third game, 2014, 2012, 2010. 0 points the last time they were there. 6 points 2 times ago. You have to go back to 2010, 8 years ago. Guys who were freshmen at Michigan this year, were they in 4th grade at the time when Michigan scored 28 points? So they haven't scored 30 points in obviously over a decade since 2006. So is it as likely as some may think? Type 1 for true. Type 2 for false. Let me know in the comment section below on Facebook Live, on YouTube. What do you think about this bad boy? Will Michigan score 30 plus points in South Bend? Here's my answer. I'm saying true on this one. I think this offense is going to come out hot. I think they're going to get some help from the defense, maybe a defensive score or a turnover or two to get the offense in primetime position. I think you'll see Michigan come out and maybe they'll struggle the first few possessions, but they'll get 20 plus points in the first half at South Bend, and they will roll to 35 points or so against Notre Dame. I'm predicting, at this point, I'm predicting a Michigan 10-point victory. We will see how that one goes. Do you think Michigan's going to win at Notre Dame? Do you think they're going to win by more than 1.5 points? Well, the odds have dropped, folks. It was 2.5 points a couple weeks ago. Just in the past week, the line dropped to 1.5. So we called up BetDSI and said, hey, Michigan fans are going to love this. They're going to be betting the Wolverines all day. They gave us a promo code, GOBLUE. If you use that promo code, 120% cash bonus when you sign up and deposit with BetDSI. You can put money on Michigan, 1.5 points. They win by 2 points. They get a safety, 2-0. Boom, you're winning money with BetDSI, and you're getting bonus money. Even if you lose, you're still up in theory, right? JackSports.com/bet gets you the cash. True or false, number 2. Shea Patterson will lead the Big Ten in passing yards. I want to know what you guys think of this one. Shea Patterson is getting a lot of hype. He's getting named starting quarterback. Will he lead the Big Ten in passing yards? Type Y for true. Type N for false. Jim Harbaugh has obviously had some very strong quarterback play in his time as a head football coach. Jake Rudock in 2015 had 3,000 or more yards. Andrew Luck did it a couple times, 2010, 2011, of course, when Harbaugh wasn't there anymore, but he groomed him. Will Shea Patterson be the guy to lead a conference in passing for Jim Harbaugh? Y for true, N for false. I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think Michigan runs that style of offense where they're going to no huddle, where they're going 3 and 4 wide or not. I think once they get a 2-score lead, potentially they're going to sit on the ball. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for Shea Patterson to get the kind of yardage. And of course, that defense, Michigan will be up a lot to lead the Big Ten in passing yards. I'm going to say false on that one. I am James Yoder, the king of Michigan football media, the undisputed king, after a story that I've been called out for reporting was reported as truth in the past week. Now I'm the undisputed king. Go ahead and follow our brand new YouTube channel. Chatsports.com/Michigan TV will drop you right onto YouTube to the channel. It is the only content you will get if you subscribe to that channel. No longer you have to subscribe to Chat Sports and get our other coverage if you don't want it. Michigan only content. You will be one of the first to subscribe. Please do so. Hit me on Twitter if you do it. Maybe I'll show you some love on the next show. I'll be in South Bend. Hit me there. We can maybe meet up in South Bend for Michigan's game if you will be in attendance. Now, true or false, Rashan Gary will be a top 5 pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. Type A for true. Type B for false. Will Rashan Gary be a top 5 pick? There are so many defensive linemen in college football projected to be top 5 and top 10 picks. Every time I look at a new mock draft, it's the 3 defensive linemen that most fans have never even heard of are projected in the top 5, top 10. So Rashan Gary certainly has a ton of competition for this mark. But I think that what we've seen out of him, what we've kind of heard about in the offseason, all the workouts he's doing, some of these motivational videos he's got with high school kids coming in, camping with the Michigan football program, that I think Rashan Gary is going to have a tremendous year. I think the strength of Michigan's defense and the style they're going to run is going to give him the stats and the exposure that he's going to need to get in that top 5. I think he'll leave early after 3 years, the #1 recruit in the 2016 recruiting class. And I think he will be a top 5 pick in the 2019 draft. I am saying true. You guys got to tell me what you think in the comment section below. True or false on Rashan Gary being in the top 5 in next year's NFL draft. All right, next one on this bad boy. Will Michigan throw 15 plus passes out of the shotgun formation at Notre Dame? I've told you, they're going to be in shotgun 50% of the time. If you watch the previous episodes of the show, you'll know I said, hey, they're going to go hurry up offense is what it's looking like. They're practicing for hurry up offense. So will Shea Patterson be dinking and dunking enough to get 15 passes out of shotgun? Type 1 for true, type 2 for false. Let me know what you guys think. Now, it's interesting. If you look at Michigan's offense last year, there's no way you would say yes, because they, 1, didn't go out of the shotgun that often, 2, didn't complete enough passes, had poor wide receiver play, poor tight end play, poor offensive play all around. So I wouldn't think it was likely, but I think Shea Patterson is the difference maker. I think Michigan's going to see the success spreading it out, getting wide receivers in one-on-one coverage, and getting a lot of those 3 and 4 and 5 yard kind of dink and dunk passes, like I told you in the Patriot-style offenses, that is going to give them enough opportunities, 15 plus or more. I actually think they'll end up throwing it 35, 38 times that game, and at least 20, 25 will be out of the shotgun set. So I am going to say true on this one. All right. Brandon Peters, Michigan's backup quarterback, will he be on the roster in 2 years from now? He's going to be a redshirt sophomore. He's got 2 years after this season. 2019, he'll be a redshirt junior. 2020, he will be a 5th-year senior. Will Michigan want him back if he's not the starting quarterback? You never know. Will he want to be there? Will he grad transfer? Some have said that he is trying to accelerate his classes so he could be eligible to transfer after this year and have 2 years of eligibility to play somewhere else, not have to sit out a year if he transferred, or not have to back up Shea Patterson another year. So type in BP if it's true. Type in F for it's false. Will Peters stick around for his 5th-year senior position, 5th-year senior year at Michigan in 2020? I think, from what I've told you just a couple days ago on the Michigan Football Rumors show, I think that he is going to be the backup quarterback this year. If Shea Patterson goes out, Michigan's winning, they want to bring in a backup, it's going to be Brandon Peters to start. But I actually think Dylan McCaffrey has shown more in fall camp, and he's the future as such. If Shea Patterson leaves after this year or after 19, the next guy in line is Dylan McCaffrey, and as such, Brandon Peters is going to want to get a starting nod somewhere else. He will ultimately transfer, whether it's after his 3rd year or his 4th year, to do a direct grad transfer to not have to sit out a year. So I am saying false. He will not be on the roster after the in the 2020 season. I'm not going to make a prediction on 2019 yet. Check out these shirts I'm wearing. Aren't these awesome? I want to show you. This thing is stretchy. This is awesome. I love this shirt. It is a mizzen and main shirt. They are sponsoring the Michigan Football Report all season, along with that DSI, of course. Go ahead and get yourself one today. They're clothing me all year, all my coworkers. Comfortable.af is the website. I can't tell you, it's stretchy performance fabric. Comfortable.af, the most comfortable dress shirts on the market. Mizzen and Main is the company. Go ahead and buy yourself one today. Gift one to a friend if you want to amaze them with a performance fabric dress shirt. All right, want to know from you guys, comment below, will Michigan fans, will they resoundingly cheer Chris Webber when he returns to Michigan against Penn State? Want to know from you guys, type CW for true, type N for false, or just tell me what you guys would do. Let's find out. Will you cheer Chris Webber? He put, his actions led to Michigan's being on sanctions. He has never apologized to the university for what he did, for taking money. Now, a lot of people will say, hey, he did great on basketball court. He led Michigan to 2 national title games in back-to-back years. He is a legend at this school, but he has distanced himself from the university for the better part of 2 decades. Guys like Juwan Howard, Jimmy Jackson, Jalen Rose have all come back and kind of developed a relationship with the university after the banners of the Final Four came down. Will Michigan fans cheer Chris Webber when he comes onto the field as an honorary captain against Penn State in early November? I want to know from you guys, CW for true, N for false. I'm going to say true. I think most people at the game probably won't even remember why Weber wasn't around the program in general. People have short memories these days, but I think just the legend of the Fab Five, the reemergence of them in the media over the past few years with the documentary 30 for 30 and some other things, Michigan making it to the Final Four a couple times in the last 5 years, that Michigan fans will universally cheer Weber. There won't be any booing, so I think it's going to be a true. Michigan will show Chris Weber all kind of love. All right, next up on this bad boy, will Shea Patterson throw for 10 or more interceptions this season? All right, is he going to be a little bit of a wild card back there under center for the University of Michigan football team? A for true, B for false. If you talk to Ole Miss fans, if you talk to SEC fans, I guess Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State fans, they're going to say, hey, this guy's a turnover machine. 9 interceptions last year, threw 4 against Alabama or LSU, something like that. And I think there's some validity to that. For sure, Shea Patterson has not been, a proven commodity when it comes to protecting the ball. With Michigan struggling throwing the ball downfield, as I reported, I think that there is some validity to those concerns that he will not be able to, be one of these guys who throws for like 4 or 5 interceptions. So 10 is a lot. It's not. It wouldn't certainly be a record or anything like that. It's around 1 a game. So type A for true. Type B for false. I'm going to go ahead and give this a true on this one. And I don't think it's because Shea Patterson's going to have a bad season by any means, but what I do think it means is that Michigan's going to be throwing a lot more than they have in past seasons, and that Shea Patterson will trust his arm a little too much and sometimes force balls downfield, try and go for a 40-yard touchdown pass, maybe not see a safety where it's coming. So I think it's going to be a yes, 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 no kind of season with Shea Patterson. He'll make plays that you haven't seen in quite a few years from Michigan quarterback, but it'll also take chances and turn the ball over. Maybe could cost Michigan a game that could be the deciding factor between a Big Ten championship or a 9-3 season. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully they are not detrimental to the season, and Michigan can keep him under control with the turnovers. Next, true or false on the board, Donovan Peoples-Jones, 2 or more punts for a touchdown in 2018. We think back to Jabril Peppers. He was returning punts all over the place, right? Touchdowns left and right. Well, not really. He broke so many, but he only actually got into the end zone 1 time. He got tripped up inside the 20 a half dozen or so times in his 2 years as Michigan's punt returner. Donovan Peoples-Jones had a couple nice returns last year, got in the end zone the 1 time, but to think he's going to have 2 or more next year when it's only happened a few times in the history of Michigan football. I think at one point Michigan went like a decade without even returning a kickoff return. I'm thinking more about punts here, but I don't think 2 or more is likely. It's certainly not bet worthy. So if I had to make a decision, I am going to say false on this one. It is tough to think that he's just going to all of a sudden jump out and return 2 or more touchdowns, punt returns 4 touchdowns in 2018. Bet DSI, ladies and gentlemen, is our sponsor. They are sponsoring the Michigan Football Report. So they're supporting us. We can bring you to the show for free. Support them. If you're going to gamble on sports this year, if you want to gamble on football, it's no longer illegal from the Supreme Court. Shout out Donald Trump. Kidding. Go use promo code GOBLUE in the box when you sign up and deposit. You get 120% cash bonus. Put in $100, you get 120 free. You gotta find me a better offer out there. There's definitely not one. BetDSI is the only place I bet football, and I'm the only place I'm going to recommend that you bet football. Chatsports.com/bet, chatsports.com/bet, and use that promo code GOBLUE for some free money. Send me DMs and you sign up. I might be able to give you some swag, some Chat Sports gear, maybe some Michigan football gear. We'll see how many of you sign up and get going with BetDSI. Next, true or false, the O-line will be a team strength by the end of the season. Well, you hear this every year almost, that the O-line's coming together, they're gelling, they've simplified things. I can say this every single year for Michigan for about the last 20 years, and we go back to the archives and say, was this what the team was saying? Is this what the insiders were saying? Every single year, they're gelling. They're playing as one. They're simplifying their reads. They finally get it. They've toughened up. They've leaned up. Whatever it is, the hyperbole, you're hearing it again this year. So I can't even give an answer. I like Ed Warner. I'm saying to be determined. I don't know if I can trust the same guys that I saw last year. You're losing Mason Cole, losing your best player. So I'm saying to be determined, folks. Show me John Runyon and the rest of the players on the Michigan football team, Ben Bredesen, Cesar Ruiz, show the fans of Michigan football that they finally have an offensive line for the first time in what feels like 11 or 12 years that can compete with some of the best in college football and blow people off the ball when they need it. And that is your Michigan football true or false. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I am the #1 Twitter follow for Michigan football fans. Hands down, follow the New Michigan Football Facebook page, YouTube page, chatsports.com/Michigan TV. And if you're going to South End, and you want to hang out with James Yoder, I might be sporting some Mizzen and Main shirts, go ahead and hit me with the DM. Let me know where you're going to be. I'm looking for folks to hang out with before the game, and we will see you then.